In the Treasure State, University of Montana football is a way of life. Lithia Ford has long been a proud sponsor of Grizz football, and Lithia Ford of Missoula is thrilled to have several of the best Montana football seniors driving the best trucks in Montana. Aspen Sound is the premier car audio and accessory shop in Montana. Aspen Sound makes sure the boys are riding in style with tinted windows and state-of-the-art stereo systems. There's always a party in Montana. Whether you're going to a concert, a wedding, or a football game, the Montana Party Bus will get you there. Skyline Sports and ESPN MT cover the Big Sky with more depth than anyone. Check out SkylineSportsMT.com and tune in to Nuanez Now on 1029 ESPN Missoula every day. My Montana Roots and Wear Your Roots clothing is your go-to spot for the most unique and comfortable lifestyle clothing you'll find anywhere. And get your custom t-shirts to support your favorite player. From 5 local businesses who love Montana, best of luck to the Grizz as they pursue another Big Sky Conference championship.
Restoration, we follow a very strict process of how we do people's individual contents. It starts on site after our team walks in, evaluated everything, and we start separating out what can be salvaged, what can't be salvaged. Once we determine what can be salvage, we have to determine the processes that we want to use. We get everything back to our content cleaning facility. There is one of the processes we use that's a ultrasonic cleaning system called a fire line. It's an assembly line system where we unbox, we open the box, we see what's in it, we go through the inventory of it, we open it up. It then goes through a pre-wash system, it then goes through the ultrasonic system, it goes through a post-wash system, and then it goes through a drying system, comes back around on the assembly line and is reboxed into a clean box, re-inventoried to make sure everything that was in there when it started is there when it comes through the system, reboxed and ready to go back into storage until it can go back into the homeowner's facility. We always want to focus on the people. Obviously, fixing their individual belongings is a big part of the process and making sure that they feel comfortable with it. And so having such a detailed contents process is very key for us as a company to be able to help our clients in this time of need. There's more than just the structure and their belongings. The people themselves are what's important to us at the end. As long as they're made whole, that's our job. We understand the inner workings of that with the structure, the contents, making sure that people are okay and they understand the process. So we don't just come in and take all their belongings and start cleaning them and they don't really understand what we're doing. Our team is very versed in the process and they're very systematic on how they do it too, so that we don't have too many issues along the line, and they're very good about picking out each individual content of what we can and can't save.
Five Valleys Restoration. Respond, restore, rebuild.
All right, welcome everybody. Montana returns home to take on Morehead State this week. We've got seniors with us today, Xavier Harris and Isaiah Childs, and we'll start with Coach Hauck. Coach, your final thoughts on the North Dakota game before Montana turns the page and takes on Morehead State this weekend.
Thanks, Tabes. Sure. In terms of the game last weekend, it was a shame not to come out of there without a win. We were a dominant team in the first half. In the first half, we looked like a team that could beat anybody on our schedule. In the second half, we looked like a team that couldn't win. So this week, we need to figure out which team we're going to be. Morehead, I don't know a ton about them yet. Certainly have watched some film. I do know they're 2-0 and we're 1-1. So they've got a new staff. We don't have a bunch of off-season data on them like we normally would a early season game. But their teams from their conference are 2-0 against our conference this year. We know that St. Thomas and Northern Iowa were 17-10 last week. We also know that Butler beat a Missouri Valley Conference team, so their league has done a good job in the early season, and we expect that they will come in here fully expecting to beat us. So we got to be ready to go. They're top 10 nationally on defense in 7 major categories, I think. Their pressure package is good. They're balanced on offense. Their punt return numbers are eye-opening. So, we've got a big week of preparation. We need to find a way to get a win this weekend and win our game this week.
Questions?
For Xavier and Isaiah, just how would you guys describe what the vibe's been like among the team as you talk amongst your teammates since that game ended Saturday?
Well, really, it was it was a bad game as far as us not playing how the Grizzlies are supposed to play. You know, it's something we got to fix coming into this week, knowing we got a team that's pretty solid. They're 2-0. You know, like Coach said, we're 1-1. That's not where we want to be. So we're just gonna keep working to where we want to get and get to our goal at the end of the season.
I know that we're eager as a group right now. Seniors, captains, we're very eager to get back into this week and game plan. We just got to execute on all phases of the game, special teams, offense, defense. We got to execute when the opportunities come, and we'll do that this week.
And again, for both you guys, you had an early loss in the season last year, but responded in a big way and put a big winning streak together. What did you guys learn from bouncing back from a loss last year that can help you guys try to turn things around this year?
Yeah, we don't want to lose. That's not our end goal. We don't bang each other's heads around door and blazer all summer for nothing. So we're going to come into this week, like I said, take advantage of all the opportunities we get, and be 1-0 this week. So
we lost a week, so it's kind of tough. Like he said, we really don't want to lose. We want to try and win as many games as possible, hopefully go undefeated. That's really like a goal for us. But when you win some, you lose some. That's not going to stop us from getting to where we want to be, though.
Bobby, after you looked at the film, starting with the offensive side of the ball, what kind of stood out? Differences between first, second half. What were maybe the biggest differences there?
We made plays in the first half. In the second half, they executed better than we did.
Similar question, just for the defense. What was the difficulty getting them off the field in that second half?
A bunch of 4-yard gains. 3 times 4 equals 12. I mean, they ran the inside zone. They completed a couple slants. They had a couple of quarterback scrambles. It's about what it is, a bunch of 4-yard gains.
And like Frank asked, you guys obviously had a loss last year, bounced back. There's been years past where you guys have bounced back. What do you look from your team? Like, what's stood out about those teams when they've been able to bounce back from a loss, especially early in the season?
Well, in sports, they have a thing called the scoreboard, and sometimes one team wins and sometimes they don't. And this week we want to have more than the other team. That's it.
Bobby, when it comes to just ball distribution, you guys have so many playmakers. How much does a limited play count limit the amount of touches that you guys can get, the variety of playmakers you have?
Say that again.
If you don't have a bunch of plays, how do you get as many guys touches as you possibly can?
Well, you get as many carries or catches as you have plays.
I guess what I'm asking,
I don't understand what you're trying to get at.
I guess I'm just asking, when it comes to the amount that each individual guy can touch.
We don't care about that. We care about getting one more point than the other team on Saturday.
When it comes to Morehead, you mentioned their defense. How would you just describe what they do defensively?
Well, I call them a pressure team, depending on what you define pressure as. Is it, faux or bogus pressure? Is it real pressure? Is it man pressure, zone pressure? They've got a pretty extensive package, so I call them a pressure team. Probably we anticipate they'll play some man-to-man.
And offensively, same question. What do you think their sort of broad identity? What have you seen so far?
They're balanced. Looks to me like they try to be 50-50 run pass. That's a 2-game breakdown. They're a one-back offense. Play with 1 or 2 tight ends, sometimes no tight ends. They're like everybody else.
Isaiah, for you to be named a captain, what did that mean to you going into this year?
It meant a lot. It meant that my teammates trusted me and my coaches as well to get the job done on special teams. And I know for that this week that I'm going to expect a lot out of myself to make sure that the guys are, alignment and assignments and their procedures are right. And they're going to get a lot out of me, and I'm expecting to get a lot out of them. So that's a role as a captain. You got to expect more from yourself than your teammates. And I know I'm going to get a lot out of my teammates as well this week.
How eager are you to kind of just get back after it this week?
I've been eager since we got off the plane, since we landed in Missoula. So,
X, what about for you? Just kind of wanting to get back out there and just move on.
Since the clock and the game ended last week, I've been ready to get back on the field and just redeem ourselves. I didn't like the ending, then the result of that game, but you win some, you lose some. Like I said earlier, you just got to move on, take it on the chin, and hope to win the next week.
What does it say about Isaiah to be named a captain?
Was proud of him. I was very proud of him, especially from what he's been through since being here. He hasn't quit, and that's what I'm very proud of. He's going to keep fighting to the end, fighting through injuries and mental health problems. It doesn't matter. He's going to make sure that he's ready to lead, and I'm glad he's one of our leaders.
Coach Hauck, what about just for you, speaking on Isaiah and what he's kind of meant to this program?
It's been really a solid presence, a really hardworking, grounded guy that's he's a good resource for young guys on the team, and in the same way, he's a good resource for coaches because he can come in and bridge, that world between the younger players on the team and the coaches. And, being a senior that's been here for a while, he's got more in common with me than our freshmen, but he's able to convince them that they need to go to work, and I think he just does a great job with that.
What have you seen from Xavier moving to slot and what he's brought to the wide receiver core this year?
Well, X is a versatile guy. He can play running back and wide receiver. It's been great to have a guy like that. He can go in the backfield and carry the ball, or he can get out and do the things on the perimeter. He's worked hard at his blocking. He's been playing in the kicking game. Just a versatile player like X is always good to have. And then, on a personal note, he's a pretty dang good guy to be around every day. He's enjoyable.
Yeah, X, just from your point of view, kind of on that question, just what's it been like for you being able to run routes and make a bigger impact in the receiving game this year?
I love being able to make plays for my team and being in a position to help my team win. That's the only way to describe it.
Anybody else?
All right, thanks, guys. Oh, got it.
Coach, I just want to ask you about Caleb Botluski. I hope I'm saying that last name right.
You're right.
Looked like he got elevated reps this last week. How do you think he's done, and what's allowed a young guy like that to get on the field?
Well, I think he's done a good job. I don't think he's where he will be as he plays more. He's not a very experienced guy, so everything's new to him. But he's done a nice job. He's trying hard. He's focusing in on the detail of it and learning a lot. And he's a young football player with great promise.
I also wanted to ask you about Ayat. How do you think he's coming along, and what do you think of his performance overall?
Again, it's going to be the same as Caleb. He's doing a nice job of learning, processing, getting better at his craft, and I think he's willing to work at it, and the spirit of improvement, I think, will help him, and that's how he's wired.
A jewelry design center.
JDC is a family-owned business with deep roots in Montana. Why Montana? Because this community made us family, made us artisans, made us believe in love, made us hometown heroes. Because this community made us shine. Why Montana? Because Montana is home.